Hi everyone, I am in the mood to do a more in-depth reading. I'm really feeling the energy of what's cultivated over the last month. We are in June now, and that means we're out of Mercury retrograde, and now Saturn's in retrograde. Saturn is the planet of karma and the planet of the head, Capricorn. And so with this being said, it's all about really discovering where we're holding resistance within our patriarchal side, let's say, our more masculine side. I know that I can speak from experience being a Capricorn sun, Gemini moon, and Pisces rising, that it takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of getting to know the really uncomfortable sides of yourself. So what I've been doing, because I'm definitely feeling just big change through moving to like a smaller town, and I have a lot of time to think, and I'm like looking out the window right now, it's raining, yay. I wanted it to just storm today. But side note, I'm noticing how you can only do so much introspection, and like introspection isn't perfection. It's not going to, just because you're analyzing things and trying to create new avenues doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to lead to perfection, or it's going to lead to the perfect circumstance. You know, I use the cards as a way to kind of navigate uncomfortable circumstances, uncomfortable waters. I think we're definitely feeling, I've just been feeling a need to be in my innocence and in my naive energy of being childlike, of being a little girl. Because like I feel like this week has been pretty hard, just because I'm really being faced with some really deep down feelings of like what it was like for my little girl. And I'm really doing a lot of introspection, because even being grown, I still have this little girl in me wanting to fit in, wanting people to like me, wanting to do good, wanting to do a good job, wanting to get praised for doing a good job. And so I'm really noticing how there's just a lot of energy around like giving up to give in, and how I don't have to be fake to like myself. I don't have to be doing something because everybody else is doing it. I don't have to show up in community like everybody else says. I can show up for myself, then for community, in a deeper, more authentic way. And I feel like that's where I'm trying to gravitate all of my energy right now. And it's been dang exhausting. And it's making me think of getting more into creative, artistic, passionate projects. So with that being said, I am going to use, this is my Dakini deck. I really love it, by Penny Slinger. I've had it for years. And then this is my Lunamar deck, and then this is a French way of reading the cards, which is more like storytelling. And then let me get up real quick. And then this is my Triad and True Weight Rider deck. This never fails. Less is more. That's what I'm learning through everything. Less is more. So I'm going to do like a 5-card reading. This just came out. Okay. 6 of Wands. Wands is all about how you're feeling is what you manifest. And so you can see the person's riding a horse, there's a wreath, there's some really beautiful green and red. Red is the color of power, of blood, of invocation. So you can kind of see and sense that this person is going into the direction of their dreams and people are supporting them. This could mean that currently you're being supported in your dreams and that you're really, manifesting clarity through following your more masculine leadership qualities. This means leadership. This means triumph over defeat, clarity, wisdom, victory. And so with that, I'm going to draw some more cards to see what's around it. Okay. Oh, wow. So we have the center is the Six of Wands here. And then we have above the Six of Wands, which is kind of the heaven state, the material, above the material realm. This is our godlike state, our peaceful state. And this is the Magician. This is probably one of my favorite cards. The Magician and the Hierophant go hand in hand. The Hierophant has keys to unlocked mystery, but the Magician is here to help us to bring balance and to bring clarity. And this also reminds us to practice ritual, daily ritual, to help us with neurosis, to help us with obsessive thoughts, to help us with anxiety. How ritual and, really bringing down the elements, casting your spells, casting your energy into the universe to bring it back down for it to be seen. Symbols are all around us, and I forget every time that I'm kind of in flux and change. I'm like, oh my God, am I doing the right thing? This feels messed up. I feel blocked. This doesn't feel right. And then I ask for a sign, and this card is a sign to use our magic, to also be surrounded by magical beings that lift you up. The Magician is serious, but he creates magic from cruelty, from pain, from hurt, from suffering. And I think right now it's like really important for us to remember how we're creating our magic. And like, just because we're in a state of immense mourning and grief right now as a nation, that we can use our magic and our love and our compassion to not be so damn critical, to not be so damn damning to one another. Creating doors within your perception of reality. This also reminds me of Jodorowsky. Jodorowsky was one of the very influential people that got me into tarot, and I completely forget about him every time. He has a wonderful book on the tarot, which I need to reread and probably reorder because, anyway, long story short, he had the movie Holy Mountain, He still reads tarot to this day. I think he has a YouTube channel where he reads tarot in Paris cafes, something that is of my dreams. Anyway, he uses a lot of the symbology of the Magician through his fortune telling through his movies. And you can also see the red cloak, just like with the 5, 6 of Wands. The red is a very symbolic color of power, very symbolic of blood, of ritual, of sacrifice, of belonging, of the heart, of compassion. And so you can see around it, there's the Ace of Wands. So that anytime there's an ace, that means a yes. So we're saying yes to going into the direction of our dreams, but it takes both sides of our mind, both sides of our psyche, our masculine and our feminine to do what we're supposed to do on this earth. This also reminds me of partnership and being able to direct your energy in a way to where you're able to find maturation and growth. So with the King of Pentacles, you can see that he's sitting on his throne, and you can see the two bulls. Bulls are, this is a very like taurine sign. So this is about the maturation of earth. You can see the castle behind him, grapes. Pomegranates and grapes are a really big theme in this particular illustration. And you can see her, how she is looking down. They're both looking down at what they've made for themselves. And I think too, like I have to think of, oh, okay, well, King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, that means they've made it and they don't have to work anymore. They can retire. I think there's a deeper feeling of like, resting, deeply resting in our finances, deeply resting in our abilities to know ourselves and grow. Money is not able to move and come to fruition when there's karmic blocks, when there's ancestral blocks. I just got this dang book called Money Magic by the Money Witch, and I can barely read it because I'm so blocked. I spent money on a book about money that's triggering me about money, and it makes me not want to read it. So I thought that was really funny. But I'm noticing too, I'm just going to read one part of it. She's talking about, you know, how we really, our ancestors give us our beliefs in a lot of ways, our descendants, and how our descendants, if you do have, there's like a thing called financial gaslighting, and she was talking about, you know, like, where do you get your beliefs around money? Is it from your mom? Is it from your dad? Who's controlling that? And so I want to read an article about financial gaslighting, because this is exactly, I think, why I moved to a small town, is to save money. And then now I'm discovering the ways I've been financially gaslighted through my life, and I'm learning through the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles how to unlock this. Our agency is comprised by structural limitations. Without getting too academic, this means that our own individual capacity to make free decisions hits up against blocks imposed by society. So, for example, if you come from a low-income family with no financial safety net, you might not be able to work the radical activist job you would like to have because you need to stay in a corporate framework with solid healthcare benefits. It is valuable to both our personal sanity and collective healing process to acknowledge and visibly see the limitations that exist. This means acknowledging to ourselves and acknowledging in the community what these oppressions are, what they look like in our material and financial lives, naming them and planning with them in mind. This also means not gaslighting ourselves and not gaslighting each other. The term gaslighting refers to a type of manipulation where the manipulator tries to get someone else or a group of people to question their own reality, memory, and perception. Like all forms of deception, it can be done consciously or subconsciously by individuals and groups. And like most forms of control, it is generally concealed and denied. Gaslighting behaviors can be inherited and perpetuated through family lines and cultural heritage. This is social and cultural gaslighting. There is a lot, of social and cultural gaslighting around money. Those of us raised in the so-called U.S. or in other colonial projects have been raised in a web of objectifications about money and how money works, that it only supports the violent narrative. This is a myth of the American dream in all parts. The myth of bootstrapping, the myth of equal opportunity for success, the myth of mediocrity, the myth of pioneering. There can also be family gaslighting around money. If you grew up in a household where you were told one thing about money, but were able to see a different truth with your own eyes, you may have a more challenging time discerning your financial reality in adulthood. Take a look at your upbringing. Where are the hard truths? And so it goes on and on about this. This is like very poignant in my life right now, and I like that she has affirmations as well. And one of them is, I am compassionate toward my coping mechanisms, but I do not enable them. So that's been a lot of my path with the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, is really owning up to where I am enabling myself and enabling my, for lack of better words, toxic behaviors around, you know, money and what I think I deserve. I've been in deep survivalism modes most of my life, in and out of survivalism most of my life, not because my family gave me that, but I gave myself that. And so what I'm realizing too, through the Magician and through the power of really evoking the Magician can help me. And if you're also dealing with this issue around financial stability, can help us. It's not necessarily instant gratification or rewards, but the Magician can help us ease into the process of accountability. And really understanding how lack creates more lack. I used to get super pissed off around this, and like, I've had so many different types of work. I'm really owning this type of work now, and I've been owning it for a while, but it still leads into confusion, and I have been in a little bit of a state of confusion about my healing work and what I'm actually doing, and if it's seen and heard, and if I'm appreciated, and if people give a fuck, you know? And so that's the victimization of the gaslighting, because I know that deep down the Magician, the Ace of Wands, is holding me tight and saying, yes, you are good enough. You are here for a reason. You know, you are loved. You are held. But really investigating your thought processes and like knowing where you've been, sorry, there's like a mosquito. Knowing where you've been gaslighted in your life. Knowing when enough is enough. And you can also hold loving boundaries without having to be mean. And you can also hold loving boundaries without having to be like cold. And that's been also a huge lesson in my life, is whenever I get into a feeling of, fuck, this isn't working, I'm frustrated, I want to get mean and cold pretty quickly, because that has brought me results as well. I've learned through manipulation and through, this is a heavy topic. Sorry, this damn mosquito. I've learned a lot through the powers of manipulation, being manipulated and then manipulating others. And I feel like this too, the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, is reminding us, really call out your manipulators and call out when you are manipulating someone else. Understand the energies of just like corruption and what's not true. And how at any time we can give ourselves the freedom to unname the parts of us that are hurting us. So I'm in the process of unnaming violence, unnaming and letting go of like victimization and sadness, because I know this Gemini season too, it tends to bring up sadness and loneliness and the victimhood. So it's really important right now for us to reclaim our sovereignty and reclaim our abilities to dream and having fun. I mean, fun is magic, and community is magic, and our friends and family are magical. And no matter where we've been, I know that was just a very deep, heavy topic, and I could talk for hours on just all of that. But it's our time to really be in our joy and see where joy brings us financial success, and see where like being in our happiness brings us success and all that good things, all those good things. So just making sure that you're being mindful of where you're going, saying yes to your dreams, and the balance of the feminine and masculine in your magic, and invoking ritual every day. Okay, thanks y'all. Bye.